what it was like for me to receive this information. This is a part that I decided to add to the end of the audiobook, something that I chose not to include in the book itself because I didn't want to dilute any of the wisdom and the knowledge shared within the book. But I do feel that for many people there may be a level of interest in what it was like to receive this information. And for me, it was quite a natural, progressive experience. It was a process that I'd never carried out before, but it felt as though I had. I sat down one day in front of my computer after having a particularly challenging QHHT session the day before. That session wasn't challenging insofar as the client was difficult. It was more the fact that I really recognised how much pain human beings can be in. And I did my morning meditation and I sat in front of my laptop, and in my mind I just said, what can I do to help the people? And there was a pause, and then I just heard this voice in my head saying, do you want to work with me? Listen to me and you type. And I was like, oh, okay. And I did that, and I did it for several weeks before we got to the point at which this energy said to me, are you ready now? And I was like, ready for what? And the voice said, ready to write the book. And I was like, well, I thought we had been writing the book. And the energy said, no, we're going to start it now. And I was like, okay. And I just literally typed. The voice was quite bossy, and I was told on many occasions that I wasn't typing quite the right words, and I had to kind of go back and delete it, and I had to do a meditation, or I had to really center myself and clear my mind of anything else so that all I was receiving was the information. And some days it was quite challenging, and some days it just flowed. There was a point towards the end of creating the book where I just had to go and sit in the garden because I became so overwhelmed with the information, and there was a part of me that was consciously trying to really understand it all before it was finished. But when we did get everything down onto paper and I began reading it back, I was like, okay, this is pretty special. So I just wanted to offer you, the listener, what it was like for me to receive this book. I do now have a group, and anyone who purchases a copy of the book, whether that's a physical copy or the audio book, you receive an invite into my small collective group. It's called the What Would Love Say Expansion Plan, and that is a program really devoted to learning and digging deeper into the truth offered in this book. I send out recorded affirmations to the people in my group every single day, and we just work together, and we work through our challenges and the parts that we find difficult. And you need to remember that although I penned the book, it's not my information, so I'm very much a student as much as everyone else is. So it's a really lovely little collective, and I'm hoping to grow this as time goes on and as more and more copies of the book are sold, so that we can really start to expand on this knowledge, this information. And my dream is to get as many human beings as possible interested in really understanding the ego mindset, the concept of the bird, and the concept of bringing more love into their life.